You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Patriots and Petticoats, it is my pleasure to welcome you aboard Flight 1776 with service to the United States of America and continuing service to a more perfect union. Federal regulations require that carry-on items are stowed prior to closing the aircraft door. Your items may be placed in an overhead compartment or completely under the seat in front of you. Use caution when placing items in or removing them from the overhead compartment, and let us know if we may assist you. In order to expedite the boarding process, please be seated as quickly as possible after stowing your items and take a moment to review the Constitution and Declaration of Independence located on the device in your pocket. If you are unable or unwilling to perform the functions as described on those documents, please let us know and we will find a more suitable destination for you. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to spending our evening with you. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Patriots and Petticoats. We are excited to have you with us this evening. We have a packed show with a multitude of topics that we would like to discuss. No opening monologue this evening, just us hanging out with you guys and going over some of the things that we think are important to you and to us. So, opening debate. They have come out with the most recent two mass shooters. They have come out and indicated that they have access to these manifestos. And so they've leaked, or at least released, some of the manifesto information for the Louisville shooter. But the Nashville shooter, they're saying, like, this is just so bad. It's so unbelievably bad. The public is not ready for it. You're not capable of looking at it. You can't handle it. You can't handle the truth. So my question, I'm going to pose to you guys. I talked about this in Liberty Happy Hour on Friday, but I really wanted to have this debate and discussion with you guys. Do you think that there are some things that we should just not release to the public? Or do you think that let it all out there? Let us see what's in the mind of these people so that we can possibly look for warning signs in other people, which kind of alludes to what my position is. But I want to go, let's go Eric first, and then Chris, I'll come to you.
I think situations like this, if it's a citizen, yes, they should tell us. If they have this information, they should release it. That should be part of the Freedom of Information Act, I think, this manifesto. But as far as like world events, things that happened or almost happened, I think some things we should just, some things we would just freak out if we knew. So we shouldn't know. But this is different than that.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
I think they should release it. The Unabomber was front page news. It was like the front page of the news. Wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. They can't handle motherfuckers. I'll tell you what I can't handle.
You're not my mama.
I will handle it and I'll read it, and then I'll see if I want my children to read it or not. That'll be up to me.
So
But
I'm going to
go
ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We're this dumbing down of America. Number one, I'd like to, if they do release it, I'd like to put $500 on that Matt Walsh is in that somewhere. I would like to say that. And maybe it doxes a whole bunch of people. Maybe it's really personal with a bunch of people. I don't know, but it needs to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Walsh has been off air for a week, so maybe there's something to that.
Possibly. I
Maybe
didn't
they
realize
needed
that.
maybe they needed to clear it with some people that were in the manifesto, like really sit down and be like, look, there's some graphic shit in here about you, yo.
Right.
What are your feelings and your thoughts? And there might not maybe more than one person. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's what it would almost have to be. Like otherwise the threat has been neutralized, so there's nothing to worry about. But if he's not, if people aren't going,
it's either straight censorship or they're trying to do the right thing with some people that might be implicated in it or whatever.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate, even though I don't personally take this position. I'm going to argue the opposite of the two of you. What if this inspires other individuals and says, so just like we talk about social contagions and the trans identity in general, right? We see this where people are saying, oh, well, I heard on a podcast a trans person was talking and I identified with those same things too. So therefore I must also be trans, right? So what happens if you release this and all of these people are like, well, fuck yeah, I feel that way too. And you start creating copycats or a mass number of individuals who are ready to take these same actions, because the Louisville shooter specifically indicated that the reason that he decided to move forward and do this was to, one, showcase how easy it is for a law-abiding citizen to obtain a firearm, and number two, how easy it is to go kill people with that, because he was an anti-gun advocate. And it's like, what? You were anti-gun and anti-killing people and you went and killed people to prove your point? Like, what the fuck?
He wasn't an advocate. He was obviously a activist, right? Yeah.
Well, anti-gun activist.
There's no difference between him and a suicide bomber for Islam, for that radical wing of Islam, right? I mean, that's what that was. That was by suicide. He went there with a vendetta, right? Because he shot very specific people.
Yes.
So I don't know if those are his reasons, or it doesn't. I don't know. It seems weird, right? That you shoot how many people? 3, 4,
5,
and then 5, and then get shot, and I just wanted to show you that it was easy.
I mean, that's what his letter said.
Couldn't you do that with a paintball?
Yeah, you could, I suppose. Well, no, because you're not buying the firearm and getting into the building.
You could go buy a firearm and then go put it in your gun safe and then go grab a paintball gun and say, okay, now I've bought that. I could have that. No, but what I'm saying is that's activist. Sure. That's like cult shit. You're dying. You're ready to die for this cause, whatever this cause is.
At what point does the left then start kind of doing a little bit of self-reflection to say, holy fuck, we're creating a lot of really violent people with our rhetoric?
What if that's an intention?
Yeah.
Not by all of them, but by a certain small minority that have seemed to captivate the whole crowd.
I think the copycat thing has been happening since Columbine, and you can't
Maybe
stop
that happened with the Unabomber too, didn't it? There were some copycats after they released that manifesto, wasn't there?
Copycats are weird. You know what's even weirder are the people who call and confess to famous murders.
Yeah.
Like if a murder is all over the place, a big
they want chaos.
one, like 30 people will call in and confess and, give detailed statements about how they did it. That's wild. Like what's going on? I think one out of every 50 people is bonkers.
Some of that's ego, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yikes.
Yeah, they want that. They want that recognition. They want that notoriety.
Interesting.
Sorry, I was over on a different screen real fast.
But it also may have some implications on what they're trying to push, the agenda they're trying to push. That could absolutely be true as well. Because now that our government, my personal beliefs is we're not dealing with a nonpartisan DOJ right now.
No,
it's my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have the Attorney General standing at a State of Union address clapping for the President of the United States, I think that takes away any indication that we now have a non-biased Department of Justice.
And putting the Marines in the background, that was fucking smart.
See that poor Marine having to hold the Easter Bunny's hand?
Fuck.
Oh man.
That man
MB
went through
says they're
camp.
the brown shirts.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
Yeah, this is the Red Guard. This is that level shit.
so I think that they should put it out.
How many people have confessed to the Black Dahlia murder?
A
That's
lot.
true.
Almost
I
as
agree.
many
I
people as have
was
made a
playing
podcast
devil's
about the
advocate,
Black Dahlia murder.
but I 100% agree. I think they should put it out because I think that if you start to see the reality of what's going on in these people's minds, like if you, Eric,
Dude,
are you enjoying those nerds over
Nerds
there?
gummy clusters taste like every flavor you've ever enjoyed in your whole life at one time.
The look on your face is
euphoric.
like
They're so
the
good.
most like extreme joy that you could ever get out of something.
This is how Amish kids feel on Rumspringa. Oh, they're incredible.
Oh, that's
Nerds,
great.
I'm willing to talk about a sponsorship.
I agree with you guys. Although playing devil's advocate to talk about what could negatively happen, I think that if we start seeing like what's going on in these people's heads, we can start looking for some of these warning signs, right? Like if you have 2 laptops, 5 notebooks, and I can't remember everything that was with the Nashville shooter, but if you have that much content as a manifesto, you've given warning signs to the
Mhm.
people in your life. Like you've given indicators where somebody should be like, "Ooh, man."
Heather, when they say that they're confused about their gender, that's your first warning sign that we have.
And
All right. I'm not even joking. I just got in this huge argument with this individual over transgenderism in children.
Oh, is this the one
And
you've been fighting with for like 3 days?
well, it was only a day, and were cool at the end. But I was like, listen, there's not a mental illness that any of our American children have, or any children in the world, for that matter, that the first response is chemical castration and then genital mutilization or whatever. There's not one. You can't do that to our mentally ill children in America. We're not going to have, I was like, he kept saying, well, I've cited all these peer studies that say this is good for the youth. And I'm
No.
like, listen, dude, we can't debate this. It's not an argument because you're in the sandbox playing make believe, and I'm in reality. And until you get to reality and understand that this is a mental health crisis, and we are absolutely awarding it
well, I think that's part of
and affirming it, and it's insane.
I think that's part of our problem with all this gender dysphoria being celebrated and these mass shootings is it's never been harder to get mental help right now than it is at this moment. Like therapists and everybody is, it's going to be 6 months. If you see warning signs in your friend and you think they might be a mass shooter, I mean, it's probably going to be 4 to 6 months before they can even see somebody if they're interested in that.
Let me tell you something. How do you think this is going to end up after we've had these kids on ADHD medicine for the first 10 years of their life? Now we're going to start them chemical castration during puberty. I mean, how does anybody know how that's going to end up? It's not going to be good.
I've been on this tirade multiple times before, but what other mental health disorder do we have language that says
And then they're
affirm a
autistic.
disorder?
Sometimes it seems autistic. They're talking about autism in this. I mean, this case is only going to end horribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your teenage daughter walks into a mental health facility and says, I'm anorexic and I have body dysmorphia and I think that I have to consume no more than 200 calories a week or a day, or I'm going to be fat.
Yeah.
The doctor doesn't look at the teenager and say, you know what, I'm going to affirm this disorder.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend that you continue to only consume 200 calories. And do you want us to do liposuction? Do you feel like your thighs are a little bit fat? We'll go ahead and schedule the surgery for you right now.
Well, it's like if you go in there 70 pounds and you tell the doctor that you feel like you're fat, and the doctor says, yes, you look fat to me. And then everybody else needs to say that you look overweight. And if you tell the girl that she's skinny and you're a little concerned, then that's hate speech.
It's true.
It's upside down.
We talk because we're in the kind of the sports world. We talk a lot about transgenderism in sports, but the real conversation really should start with the mental health aspects that we're dealing with.
Right. And
The part
and how
about
that's
sports is people are going to cheat because we're fucking Americans and we're humans. And if there's an edge or a line that we can cross to get an edge, we're going to get it.
And that's what I found debating people who are for all this stuff. They honestly really don't think that a male would do this just to win, just to
that's
dominate
that's ridiculous.
And they
Of
absolutely
course they would.
They
So,
absolutely would.
But the bigger conversation is the chemical castration and the genital mutilization of mentally ill people that are mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
And then furthermore, you are sticking the dick of Big Pharma in your mouth, and you are going to suck that fucking thing until you are in your grave, and they fucking know it.
Well, you're making yourself a transplant patient.
It's
voluntarily
crazy. And of course there's so much social justice warrior. There's a lot of money behind this because there's a lot of money to be made.
You have to yell really loud
and they need to make it now because motherfuckers are going to wake up. So they've all got a window that they can push this, like the vaccine at a window. Now, I got to do it now because people are going to start really asking questions. Maybe I'm going off. I apologize, everyone. Heather, go ahead. Sorry.
No. This is really important because that was the next direction I was going to go in. You're creating lifelong patients. That's why we don't have a cure for cancer yet, right?
Jesus Christ.
We can continue making money off of the sick. So
it's like anti-rejection meds. You're just signing up for it.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be anti-liberal. Like the I can't believe the Democrats are into this shit.
It's body autonomy. I can't believe a lot of stuff they're doing, like turning a blind eye to all these beached whales. I never in my life thought I would see that.
And can I just real quick give me 30 seconds?
Take his line.
Some motherfucker on Twitter hits me up with this fucking meme of Coors having a rainbow flag, Miller having a rainbow flag. And I'm like, bro, you're not getting it. None of us that I know in the Midwest where I live give two shits about straight or gay people. We love everybody.
Yeah.
It's not about that. Remember that.
And they keep trying to make it an adult conversation, but they're going after children.
They keep trying to stick their mental illness in with regular fucking folks. Like, no, we're in this whole community. No, motherfucker, you're not.
You're not.
I know a lot of people in that community that are like, this is out of hand.
Yeah.
But they have to stick themselves there.
It's like I've been saying, beware anybody who's passionate about talking to kids about sexuality. Like, you shouldn't be this passionate about
either side of the aisle.
Did you guys see in Florida there was a gay pride parade that was scheduled, and the governor or somebody came in and said, okay, you can have your parade or you can have your event, but no children are allowed to attend, and the organization canceled the event.
That tells you everything.
Yeah.
They're after the kids.
It was crazy.
Like, maybe they don't necessarily want to touch the kids, but they want the kids to, celebrate and be part of the lifestyle.
I think they want to touch the kids, especially with this whole UN report that came out where they're like, a lot of them do. Children can consent to sex if they understand what's going on. Well, that's
saying
not
these
subjective.
things out loud blows my fucking mind. Like, I know
it is in formal government reports now. Like, it's in suggestions for law.
Are they just saying Epstein was just before his time? He was just ahead of his time, folks.
Yeah, pretty much. Epstein's probably alive writing this shit.
Dude. God, it's gonna be hard to not say like things that get me in real life.
Hey guys, though, we're in the majority, right? This is the majority of America.
I doubt that more every day.
Not the majority of Twitter. Because I swear to God, Elon Musk has reset that shit to where he just keeps you mad and on it all the time. He knows what he's doing. He just went and fucking got in bed with TikTok and was like, let me steal
He
some of that
turned the
algorithm.
rainbow dial all the way up on my feed.
Oh, Jesus
I need more
Christ.
sports.
But with all that being said, the majority of America, would you say, is still
Logical.
logical?
The majority of American men, yes.
Okay.
The majority of American women
don't have the
have
women
lost
yet?
their ever-loving fucking minds,
Wow.
which is why we need
They're
to
just
repeal
in on
19.
this. They're just like, all the best of us are men now. And that's
Yep.
just how it is.
It's
We
true.
come full circle. We have protested ourselves all the way back. So
Yeah.
2030 protest will be back to women's rights.
Yeah.
And we'll do that.
Well,
whole
We're
women
already
are
there, right?
women are ushering in their own demise, letting men take every space that they have for themselves in society and in sports. You're I mean, it's like us building these AIs. Like, you're just ushering it in. Why?
Joey, that's really sad. He said, you all got no idea. The gay left is going to get everything we have gotten this far taken away. And quite frankly, we deserve it. And that's the thing, right? I saw a meme the other
But there's
day.
not. But I know a lot of. I know a lot of guys just like Joey.
It's
Yeah.
so
They're like,
it's
"This
I
is
find it
ridiculous."
odd after all this progress. Like, we were in a much better place in 1995 with relations between all the people, all the factions, the gay, the straight, all the different races, is way less harmonic now than it was before.
I really thought we were gonna just all be
It's almost-
Americans by now.
It's almost
I
like
really
change
did.
isn't always progress. Yeah, like
This is-
melting pot.
They are
that
really
was the
good at
thing.
fucking us up, man.
We were
Keeping us
we were like a pot of chili, and everybody, celebrating differences, etc. Now it's like, only talk about the differences. Look at how different you are from your neighbor. What a that
Joey, to this
motherfucker.
point, real fast, I saw a meme the other day, and it was a body sinking in the water that had been like pushed over, and it had a ball and chain dragging it down into the ocean. And the body said LGB, and then TQ was the weight that was dragging
logical.
the dead body down into the ground. So it was a pretty powerful meme if you are a gay individual, and this
And that
person
speaks
was.
to what Joey's saying right now.
Yeah. Angela says there are portions of a child's brain that's not fully developed until after the age of 20. That's not bullshit. It's science. 100%. And they want to control it before it gets there.
Yeah. And we're talking about,
We can cut your
transitioning-
tits off, but no tattoos. Can't do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That's for permanent
It's
though.
permanent.
Tattoos for permanent.
You can't even go see the new Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Facts.
I mean, you can't even buy cigarettes after.
Not to even tell you 21 now.
You can't buy cigarettes till 21 now? That's
Yeah.
good. I like that, actually. That's such
Now
an
that we're
old
dads.
That's such
Boy,
a
we would've
dad
been
take.
mad. It went from 18 to 21 on 2 days before Tyler turned 18.
I was just about to say, imagine being 17 right before that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Oh.
And then it was COVID year too. Boy, you got hit punched in the face a lot that year. Can't buy your own tobacco steel for another 2 years, 3 years. Anyway, all right. Well, what else we got, Heather?
Another thing that I wanted to touch on. Did you guys see this video? I shared it in our Discord. The video of the teachers and kids at the middle school in Washington,
Oh my, I heard about this.
where they are there's like it's like a glass screen in between them, and they're licking the screen from each side. So it's like teachers
cream.
licking one side and students licking the other side. Did you guys see this?
That is effing crazy. Talk
Oh,
about
it's fucking
grooming.
disgusting. Like, I kind of want to share it in our
Is
little
it called the
video.
Epstein?
What the
Well, and you
fuck?
hear the students on there, they're like, ew, this is so gross. This is awful. Why are you
Dude.
doing this?
My third grade teacher.
That's your
Mrs.
morality side, kids. That's the old, what I call the old moral compass ticking
Yep.
a little bit south, going, whoa, whoa. That's
If-
not right.
You got 3 checks
doesn't
next
look
to your
right.
name in Mrs. Ashby's class in
Hey,
third
but
grade.
does that mean that we're done with COVID if we're just licking glass all over each other? Or
I guess.
is that it? The pandemics must be over.
I guess so. Here, I'm gonna
Sure.
play this video for you guys.
No, we gotta watch this next.
What the fuck? No.
Why?
She's into it. You can tell.
Well, just wait. They all are. This happens multiple teachers, multiple students. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, the kids are not like cheering it on. Nobody's into it. Oh, she's banging students, 100%. Look at this one. She's getting after it. She's grabbing the top and the bottom of the board. She does butt stuff. Does anybody know her name?
Well, and it's just so awkward because they go to the same lines to lick them.
Oh, it's so much worse when it's a dude. Now we got a dude with a backwards hat.
Nobody's disinfecting this.
I hear kids retching in the background. Oh! Yes, ma'am, it is,
Yep,
Becky.
it is so wrong.
This is wrong AF. For real, for real.
Wrong AF. So yeah,
You wrong for that, is what my daughter would say.
What in the F?
What was the goal of that game anyway?
What is the game called? Is it called Newsome?
it
Is it a
just shows
gabbing
the
game?
licking game. I don't know.
It's a
That's the
gabbing
thing,
game.
right? Like it's fucking gross.
That's what she said.
Yeah, we gotta be past COVID if that's happening.
Yeah,
Dude.
no COVID anymore.
Our third grade teacher would make us kiss her on the cheek if we got in a bunch of trouble, and my dad went up there and lost his mind on her when she did that to me.
I don't know. Like it says on the post, it says teachers and staff play a licking game. It looked to me like this was students as
Those
well.
look like students.
Yeah. It was
But-
students and teachers.
I don't.
I read it. I read about or listened about it.
Oh
sorry.
man, kids went home and explained that. A lot of parents like,
Boy,
wait,
they would've-
hang
They
on.
would have got. They would have
It
got.
can't be how you're explaining it. What really happened? Like,
They don't want. Oh, there's a few dads they don't want up there.
No. You would be one. Eric would
Coach.
be another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coach.
Moms,
Oh God.
could you imagine if that was my
There's
kid?
something-
Oh
Oh,
my God.
there's a
Ainsley came
gear.
home.
there's a gear you get into as a
Yeah,
parent.
I
where
hit
it's
another
like,
gear. My hat.
I'm
would
no
go
longer
backwards. I hit another
responsible.
gear.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yikes.
Okay, so Joey said it's Mary Kay Letourneau Jr. probably,
yeah, maybe.
and then said MB said they need a beat down.
That's
For sure.
disgusting.
That's right.
Well, I mean, like
Those are people who got into teaching to be around kids, like not in a good way.
gross.
Hey, there wasn't one adult in the room that went stop.
This is
What?
not a good
What are we?
idea.
Stop.
Yeah.
Everybody stop.
Have you guys heard of the internet? Have you heard of the word? Do you know what
Yeah.
optics mean?
Not one adult in that whole building.
The only people that are shouting it down are
the
the
children.
fucking students,
Oh my
the kids. They're like, this is gross and inappropriate. Probably
Yeah, the
shouldn't be doing
freshmen
this.
are the logic, the reasonable people.
It's the
in
new
room.
Kamala Harris job interview training program.
Yep.
No, Joey, those people were standing. She's on her knees.
Man, she really. I mean, it must be incredible. It's got to be. It's got to be something you've never experienced before.
How loose are your rules before you get to there? Like, how many parents are like, I guess so.
What was the thing that
like?
pushed
How
the
do you
envelope?
lead up to that? Like, what? There's got to be some red flags that a dad's got to be like, no, that doesn't seem right. You don't go from Catholic school hitting each other, getting hit on the hand with a ruler to licking whipped cream with
Windows.
teachers.
With the
Like,
teacher.
what the fuck was I just watching?
Yeah,
That was wild.
it's gross.
And
Yeah.
their IQs are dropping.
Yeah, because
know
we're
why.
worried about licking windows, but not passing our
And
eye
you know what?
tests.
You know what we called idiots when I was growing up? We literally called them window lickers.
Yep.
I would be like, oh, back of the bus, do the snozberries taste like snozberries? Window licker. That was like, now they lick windows
Yep.
in the competition. That was dodgeball. When we were kids, you were getting hit in the face with a red rubber ball. Smash. Now we're licking whipped cream with the teachers off of windows. What?
I don't
Don't
know
like
if this
it.
was some. Again, I haven't read into the incident itself. I just saw the video.
We got the video to watch. There's no explaining Lucy's gonna do to make that okay.
Right. Like, and that's the thing, right? Like, I know nothing about what went into that video, like what
Don't
event
matter.
they were hosting,
Don't matter.
but it doesn't matter. Like that's inappropriate behavior. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to touch on with you guys and kind of see what your thoughts are. Did you guys see the report? I know I shared it in our Discord, but I just shared it today. Did you guys see the report that they're suggesting that at least 2 of the 9/11 hijackers had been recruited into a joint CIA Saudi intelligence operation?
Shut the front door.
No way.
Our government would do
No.
That's wild.
So that whole conspiracy theory about the Saudis and the US government being involved in 9/11 wasn't a conspiracy theory.
It was, I mean,
Reynolds is about to lose a lot of money if these keep going true.
they
No,
kept
Cap oil's
Alex
not gonna
Jones
be a
is about
thing.
to own the whole fucking world at this point. Like, the Alex Jones was right tip jar is just getting more and more full at this point.
Yep.
It's crazy.
He was right about some crazy shit.
So apparently, this came out in a court filing,
Okay.
and it said it raises questions about the relationship between Alex Station, which is a CIA unit set up to track bin Laden and his associates, and then 2 hijackers leading up to the attacks, which was subject to a cover up at the highest levels of what organization? I'll give you one guess. What organization
What
in the
are you
US
asking
government?
us?
Which one do you think covered it up?
The IRS.
Nope.
The National Security Agency?
Nope. The
The FBI.
FBI.
No.
Yeah.
I wanted it
No.
to be the IRS so bad.
Oh, speaking of the IRS. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's finish this real quick because I really want to talk about Biden's announcement coming this week. So
Man.
this was obtained by an organization called Spy Talk, like a website or whatever. And the filing is a 21-page declaration by Don Canestraro, which is a lead investigator for the Office of Military Commissions, which is the legal body overseeing all of the 9/11 defendant cases. It summarizes classified government discovery disclosures and private interviews that he conducted with anonymous high-ranking CIA and FBI officials. Many agents who spoke to him headed up Operation Encore, the Bureau's aborted long-running probe into Saudi government connections to the 9/11 attacks. I can't imagine why you would shut that down.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Shocking.
That's wild. We're going to get some crazy deathbed confessionals pretty soon, aren't we? As these guys get old and start to die off.
Maybe.
They'll
Or
kill
maybe
him.
not.
If they
It's
start
funny.
to slip
Ainsley
like
and I
that.
just watched a series, and it's called The Night Agent, is what it's called. And it's about this dude who is an FBI agent. His only job is to answer this like phone or whatever. And we watched the whole season together, and it goes deep into how government officials make really bad decisions to maintain and keep power at the expense of anyone, including family members that could be in harm's way as a result. They give 0 fucks. And I was like, wow, this is probably pretty fucking true to story. Like, I don't care who dies. I don't care what happens. As long as I maintain power and control, that's all that matters.
Power's a hell of a drug.
What about everything that's coming out? Is there a bunch of truth to everything that's coming out here about Biden? about the laptop, about the dossier, about the 51 agents that signed off on the Russian information, killed the laptop
That
story.
Antony Blinken was
About
the one that
yeah,
solicited that, which
yeah. Also
solidified his
about
position as Secretary of State. Yes.
the whistleblower from the IRS
Nice.
that's talking about the Hunter Biden stuff.
Yeah, so that was next.
And
that
that's
I wanted to
Merrick
talk to you, so I'm
Garland
glad you
making
brought it
those
up.
calls.
So
He's got evidence that Merrick Garland's stopping this from going forward.
yeah, so Joe Biden is supposed to announce his candidacy next week.
Oh, he's a winner.
And
Fucking
I
cunt.
think that what we're seeing right now is a concerted effort from a faction within the Democratic Party
To
that
stop
does
that?
not want him to run for president again.
The logical Democrats, the people who understand that.
No, the fucking far left. That he's not going far enough.
Oh,
I think that this is
logical Democrats are on our side now.
Yes, that's
Right.
Bill Maher.
that's why they're all defecting from the Democratic
Joe
Party
Rogan.
and to corral masses. You're right, Angela. So he's supposed to announce next week, and magically we have an IRS whistleblower that comes out. You have the information coming out in the investigation into Hunter Biden, where now there's an indication that not only did some of these things happen, but some of these high-ranking officials in these departments, like Merrick Garland, Christopher Wray, that they were shutting down these investigations so that none of that information would become public. And it's interesting. I saw an interview that the attorney for the whistleblower gave on Fox News, and he was they're trying really hard to follow the letter of the law. They reached out to both parties to try to get them involved. Democrats are less inclined to listen. But you also have Kennedy, who just announced. You have Marianne Williamson, who is running. And you have Gavin Newsom. He's trying to, kind of make his rounds and flirt with the idea of running. And I think
I might leave. I might do
Hey,
a
Heather.
celebrity leave if
Yeah.
Yeah.
What institutes whistleblower status? So that's what he's asking for. So his attorney sends letters to a bipartisan effort to gain whistleblower status.
Right.
So who approves that? Is that a congressional?
Congress.
Okay.
Mhm.
it'll
And
be
it's
interesting.
only certain
So will that be
committees-
on the floor pretty quick then?
It probably won't actually. Because of the way that our tax laws are written from a privacy perspective, my guess is this will take place in a private SCIF type
Well,
setting.
they've already interviewed him then.
Do what?
They've interviewed him.
I don't think that they have yet. According to the interview I saw his attorney give, and this could be old information. So
Yeah, Ted Cruz, because I've listened to the verdict and Ted Cruz was talking a little bit about it.
okay. It's
Yo,
my
there's-
understanding.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Nope, go ahead.
It's my understanding that because of the privacy laws that surround tax law, he's very limited. Like, he hasn't even been able to share everything with his attorney because of the laws that are wrapped around some of this information.
And then once he gains whistleblower status, then he can.
He can disclose that information once he has been approved, but it takes a bipartisan effort to approve whistleblower status. So I wonder, I say bipartisan effort. You need the majority of the committee that you're requesting it from.
The old
So
school
if it's-
Democrats would have just killed this guy.
The Clintons, ooh.
They wouldn't have fucked around with any of this.
Yeah. So it's pretty,
Well, he's getting hit from a few different sides right now.
So could an
Well-
overwhelmingly Democrat crooked ass government prevent him from getting whistleblower status and at the same time expose this person and then
Oh,
just
yeah.
ruin
absolutely.
this
100%.
And he's afraid of that happening. Like, people are already digging, trying to figure out who he is.
What does he have?
So that's the question. And nobody really knows exactly who or what it's about at this point. The speculation is that
Well,
it's about Hunter Biden, and his attorney did allude whenever somebody said, you know, here's what people are talking about that this may have to do with Hunter Biden. He didn't confirm it, but he certainly didn't do anything to be like, nope, that's not who we're talking about.
So what I know that what I believe it is that the FBI turned over the investigation, all their findings to the DOJ, to Merrick Garland, to indict Hunter Biden well over a year ago with sufficient evidence. And he is coming forward with the emails from Merrick Garland himself directing them to not go through with the charges. So he has Merrick Garland in direct implications of stopping this for political gain.
It'll
It
be
did
interesting.
say his attorney said a high-ranking official was
It's Merrick Garland. He's the highest.
It'll be interesting to see, like, as these
So-
other
so,
whack-a-mole
yeah.
whistleblowers pop up, who goes after them, tries to silence them, because you're backing a losing horse if you go
Well,
like.
Let's also talk about that CBS ran this story for 2.5 minutes on Friday. When's the last time you saw any of them run anything like that? They ran the whistleblower story. So that tells me that there's some concrete crumbling in the Democratic Party right now, because that is absolutely not lockstep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's crumbling. I think that it's shifting. And the reason that I say that is I think you're seeing a fracture, I guess,
Yeah.
is what I mean by that. So you had the DNC announce that they're formally backing Joe Biden. So regardless of who announces for the Democratic Party moving forward, there will be no primary debates in the Democratic Party. So
Wouldn't there be a major uproar if they didn't back the incumbent, though? They kind of have to.
well, you would think so, but I mean, there have
Or-
been 2 people who have announced that they're running on the ticket. Don't they deserve the opportunity to debate Joe Biden on a stage?
Oh, absolutely.
They'll tear
So-
Ukraine.
I would love to see anybody debate Joe Biden. I want him debating people as much
You
as
can't
possible.
debate. He can't debate. They can't allow it. He can't debate.
Yeah.
So he's not going to. And
I
guess
read
what?
this article.
That is really bad for the Democratic Party. And
What
it's
if
gonna
they
look
hit us with another
horrible.
germ next year?
They are absolutely banking on the fact that the Republicans rip each other apart getting to the general, and then they're fucked.
Yeah.
And then they can have a little outbreak of something, put Biden in the basement, and get him back in.
Well, and it was so funny, this article that I read that was talking about him making his announcement this week. And they were like, Biden's not going to do the barnstorming campaign he did last time. And I'm like, barnstorming? This motherfucker called a lid at 3 p.m. every single day and stayed in his basement the entire campaign. Any event that he had less than 50 people at it. Like, that's barnstorming? Like, what? He got in a fight with a union member and almost punched him. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, he
Like,
called
this-
it an AR-14.
Oh,
This fucking guy.
barnstorming.
The audacity. Barnstorming.
Oh, fuck. Did you guys see the rumor that Mitch McConnell is potentially retiring? Did you guys see that?
I'll believe
Yeah,
that
I
when
saw a
see it.
rumor. What do you think about that? I don't think that's happening.
I don't know. I
Guy
mean,
looks like a Bond villain. How old is he? 92?
he looks like Sheldon the Turtle.
He needs to. Who takes his place? Heather?
Just another.
That's a
crooked
Joey
snake.
question, probably, but
Yeah, if he's still in here, I'd love to hear who he thinks takes McConnell's place if he's not there anymore. Who is a prominent Senate Republican that's been
Ted
there for a
Cruz.
while? Huh?
Cruz.
He's too. I don't think so. I don't think they.
Hey,
can
how
do
about
Well-
Fetterman celebrating 420 with 14 brain cells in there bouncing around? He's going to kill 4 of them right in front of us.
Nah,
What?
did he smoke a joint?
He had a big sign and then he tweeted, "It's 420 on 420," and he just said it like he's holding like a bed sheet that said 420 on it. Like, what are we
He's so
doing?
fucking
Did-
weird.
Wait,
Dude,
is he alive? Like, is he out?
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
in the
working?
Senate.
Like, what is
Hey,
he doing?
Have you not heard some of his he's questioned some judges.
Yeah, man. He's
So
out
he's
there
working.
killing it.
He's
Yeah,
back.
he's in a suit and tie, sitting in his committees.
I'll be damned. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he it's 420 somewhere, this giant flag he's holding up
Hold on.
in
Can you
his
put it
in his hoodie.
Let me see if I can find it and I'll share it.
Boy, I'm not smart enough to do that. You just type Fetterman 420 into the search bar on Twitter and you'll see multiple tweets
Man,
of him
if I
just
could.
like, I mean, he's got it together. He can afford to spare a few.
Yeah. Yeah. What else you guys got?
True or false, there are 16,000 Americans stuck in Sudan right now just waiting to be killed.
Ooh,
True.
yeah.
True or false that they were like, go fuck yourself if you need help? Well, just shelter in place, hope for the best.
Is that email real? The hey, shelter in place, there's not going to be any effort to come get you by the government?
I
That's-
don't think
that's
that's true. We created a task force to go in. They
Mm.
said they extracted all of the people from the
Government
embassy.
officials,
Oh, well, yeah.
but civilians, no.
I could find out pretty quickly, but maybe not while we're on the show, but
Yeah, we'll figure that out. What else you got? What are we gonna do?
Nothing. That's how we
Nothing.
roll. Far out, man.
oh,
he
It's
looks
wow.
like he's
420
really
on
mad.
420. That's the tweet, brah.
Brah.
Bruh.
All right.
Oh, wow.
All right. All right.
That's
all
just
right.
sad what they're doing to him.
That's crazy.
It's hard to
Yep.
watch, bro.
Okay, real quick.
That's what I love about
Angel
these
says, you mean his
presidents,
body
man.
double is out there working? Haha.
Possibly.
Joey said, my guess is they try to put some monoparty shill up for minority leader if McConnell is out. Expect Cruz and Rand Paul to make noise about that. That's what I
Yeah,
thought. They would
I
be
love
in-
Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Fucking love Rand Paul more every day.
Oh, Lindsey Graham. That is exactly who they would put in that position.
That's not good.
Good
That's
call,
not good,
MB.
Bob.
No, it's not good. It
What
is
is
no
good
better
anymore?
than McConnell himself. True
Yeah,
story.
they're all just different versions of the same person. Once you get to that height, you've done so much shady shit that you're just gross.
Rand Paul's not. I think Rand Paul's pretty squared away though.
How did he get to? I mean, how did
Kentucky.
I guess Kentucky just? They're legit folk.
His
down there.
father was like that.
Was it him or the
Because
old man that got
He's
attacked?
he really is kind of Heather's cup of tea, isn't he?
Who, Rand Paul?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, him and Thomas Massey. So, like, if I had to pick
Yeah.
one from each house of Congress, it would be the two of them
Those
for
two.
sure.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a lot of people think because I really like both of them that I'm libertarian, like that's my position that I take. I'm just politically homeless at this point. I don't identify what I
But
certainly don't. Huh?
They identify with the Constitution, both of them. So that's good.
Yeah, and small government. Like
Mhm.
this idea of passing massive spending bills and all of that, like
Rand
they're
Paul
just
hates
not on
that.
board with it.
How about
No, he
AOC talking about federal regulations
I
to
didn't
shut
see
up
this.
journalists?
I didn't see this. What? Say that again.
She was talking about Tucker Carlson, like
Yeah.
that's violence. That's violence inducing speech.
Who
we
fucking
need-
platforms her?
It was some straight CCP shit she was saying.
Well, so not just that, but how about the press starting to act as law enforcement individuals? So the little boy from Discord, whatever his name is, got it, Texiera, I think is how you say his name, the Discord Pentagon leak or whatever.
It was a kid.
He's 21. Like I consider
okay.
that a kid. I've gotten old now, so like that's still child to me.
Yeah.
But the news are the people who found him, and they were proud. So in the past,
Oh yeah.
here's the thing. In the past, if a news organization got some sort of like leaked information or whistleblower information, they would investigate that, right? That's what investigative journalism is. And then if you found something that may have been national security related that you felt like would compromise people, you just don't print that part. Or
Yep.
you print some version of it that's watered down. But you certainly don't aid the government in going and finding that individual.
Not
Right?
unless you work for the government.
That's some
Ha.
Gestapo shit.
Wink, wink. Hi, Wapo. We're talking to you.
You sound like Robbie from the Hill. Robbie Swat. I
And then
can't
they-
remember his last name, but that he was talking. He's in your same camp of nobody went after the story.
Yeah.
They went after the dude.
Nobody talked about what was in those
Yeah.
documents. They
No.
only
Yeah.
talked about him.
Him. Yeah. Very,
And
well, I mean, you could find it. You just had to go, but not from the mainstream media.
right. And so it's really scary. I feel like that we've reached a point where
The populace is waiting and tripping over each other to tell on people. That sounds like Cuba.
Oh, and China.
That sounds like stuff Elio was talking about in communist
Yeah.
Cuba.
yeah, and it's not even just I mean like there has to be a point where the information that's released it has value, right? Like we're to the point where I mean, it's important to know taxpayer money is being spent in the buku fucking boatloads in Ukraine right now.
Hmm.
Where's that money going? What is it accomplishing? What are you doing with it? And
Oh.
The only way to accomplish what they're accomplishing so well is to do things like not release that manifesto, is to say you guys just aren't ready for this yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And to keep the citizenry stupid until it's just death by 1,000 paper cuts, man.
Yeah. They're doing so much crooked shit that they just
But now they have sped it up, haven't they?
yeah.
They've sped it up and now they're doing it up front. But they had already, like, there's a whole generation behind us that are just like fucking straight sheep,
Yep.
yeah.
straight up sheep.
Joey said the Washington Post of the Pentagon Papers and Watergate fame. Yes, for sure. Someone needs to find Lindsay's grinder and leak that shit to save us from
Hey, and if you want, is there a fucking singer? And because I don't know his name, but I've seen the videos. I think his name's like Chris Smith or Chris something, and he's kind of like a trans dude or something. But he looks like straight up fucking Satan in his fucking videos and shit. Have you seen this guy?
No.
I don't know
Mhm.
who he is. Let me look. But
So while you're looking that up, at what point do we see any sort of like, do we think that we'll see a shift back where the news is like, we should probably like report on the news and stop aiding and abetting the police to go after citizens?
Change
see
only
that?
happens when the pain of staying the same is significant enough to inspire the change. So it has to not pay to. They have to stop the
Well, you're
laptop.
starting to see, you're seeing people shutter their fucking companies. BuzzFeed News is gone now. Nobody's paying them. Budweiser, huge fucking trouble financially.
That's what it'll take. Actual financial pain for people to switch over to logic. Like we can only pretend so long.
Angela said, Chris, are you talking about Mr. Beast's friend?
no,
It's
It's a
that
pop
was
singer.
wild too.
he's a pop
Yeah.
singer. He's
Let's
changed his gender all the time.
the Mr. Beast thing is really interesting because
It is.
Mr.
I
Beast
haven't
up
followed
until
that.
a week ago was Sam Smith.
Sam
who-
Smith, that's it. That if I'm
Oh, the
looking at that
VMAs
shit-
guy.
I'm looking at that shit he did the other day in his G-string, and he had one of those choke deals in his mouth and had his tongue out and like blood coming out of his
Yeah.
eyeballs. I was like, wow, that shit my grandma was talking about was real. Like that shit will make you want to believe in the fucking Bible.
I guess I don't know what you're talking about, but I've
He's
been
like
pretty disrespected this weekend.
he's like a modern day Marilyn Manson. He goes for
No,
shot.
he's just 30 years too late of Madonna.
Yeah.
Same shit Madonna
The
did.
shit he
Lady
did at the
Gaga.
VMAs was big news. It was some kind of satanic ritual type deal.
Yeah.
It's a messed up. I mean, it's all. I want to move to Montana more every day.
I want to move to Montana too.
Maybe Puerto Rico.
But then
Hear
when
that
I
one.
saw like the winters there, I was like, maybe I don't want to live in Montana. The winters that you guys have snow on the
They're
ground
pretty legit.
again.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy.
We had hail. We had like a full layer of hail.
Oh man.
But it's just the moral collapse when I watch that kind of stuff just makes me cringe
Yep.
a little bit. That people are buying
Lone
into
Wolf
this.
said Joey is wrong. What can you say what Joey's wrong
Elaborate.
about? Not sure.
He's the one who knew some stuff about the drugs I was talking about earlier.
Oh yeah.
I think so. He'll be good for my.
Oh, maybe he's talking about who's going to get the Senate seat.
Ooh, do you have a drug this week, Eric?
I have a psoriasis medication.
Oh, this will be fun.
Ooh, inflammation. Oh wait. Lone Wolf said I refuse to elaborate. Okay.
That's your right as an American. We respect that.
Oh man, you just want to come in and say he's wrong.
Yep.
He said I'm just trolling. I figured that he probably was after he said that. Okay, let's get to the drug.
Okay. Let me pull it up. This one is called Otezla for plaque psoriasis,
Heard
which,
this, yeah.
which I understand is like a dry skin rash situation.
Yep.
I remember my mom and a lot of women in our family had eczema on their hands. I think it's similar to that. It looks uncomfortable and not great. But this stuff is not a cream, it's a pill. Yay, that seemed like a big deal. 75% clear skin is achievable within 4 months, which sounds like it happened 3 out of 250,000 times in trials. So you can get rid of your dry skin rash situation, and all you have to risk are the following. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Great call. That's an excellent start. Don't use this drug if you're allergic to this drug. Side effects include severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting may occur. Severe diarrhea. Yikes. Isn't all diarrhea severe diarrhea? Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a family history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. It might be a new development for you. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss, and boy, it doesn't sound like they expected that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just turn around and market this as a weight loss drug. Anyway, tell your doctor if you lose weight, because that might be bad for you. It probably is, because if you start losing weight, they stop treatment. So probably minor. And obviously tell your doctor if you are pregnant or plan to become pregnant. Or you could just have some dry skin on your shoulder.
So if I'm sitting on the toilet blowing it up, should I be like, boy, I'm glad this isn't severe?
I'm glad this
Like,
is
how do you
minor
know the
diarrhea.
difference? Have I felt severe diarrhea? Does it get worse than that?
I'm glad this is just medium.
How much diarrhea is it before, and you have to,
I
now
think
you've lost too much
dehydration.
weight.
You got to be dehydrated for it to be severe, I think.
Oh my God.
Drink
If
water
someone
while
asks
you
you if you want to
sandwich.
go to the doctor, then it's severe. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't know what
If you
happened in
painted
there.
the
But
walls.
I don't know what happened
severe.
in there, but if you need a ride to the clinic, I'm here.
Not
for
my
ya.
car. We'll take yours.
Not my car.
that is severe.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh fuck.
Good thing it's
I
just
wanted to go
moderate.
back to the AOC thing that you had mentioned, Eric. So in addition to saying that Tucker Carlson like should be taken off, like that he shouldn't be able to speak anymore, essentially.
Yeah.
She also is suggesting that the Biden administration should defy federal court rulings. So
Hey,
just
listen to this.
And
I
Jen
thought she was
Psaki.
progressive. That does not sound
No.
What is it? She sounds very establishment.
And Jen Psaki is sitting there just nodding along. Like,
That's
yeah,
who
you're right.
interviewed her.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a good little circle jerk they had going on.
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
were just
Oh,
eating carpet, shredding it. Oh, good. That's good. Great, grand. Yeah, those two. Let's give them a fucking airtime.
What's that show
That'll make
called?
the window lickers in California, I'm sure we're tuned in. I
What's
hope
that?
you sell them Windex. I'm sure their TVs are smudged right now. Fucking window licking motherfuckers.
What's that show
Uh,
called? Safety Scissors. Fox
my
likes
God.
anime, and we can therefore disregard his opinions on everything.
he's also a furry, so
What?
he's
Does he
not
really like
really.
anime?
No, he's not really. he's not really. I
Because
just joke with him.
Because
and tease
Joey's
him.
right. You
That's
absolutely
the
can
thing.
disregard
Those
that.
people convene. They have conventions.
Yeah.
Side effects may include
nausea.
headache, nausea, diarrhea, vaginal disappearance, or death.
I love the ones that say heart failure or worsening heart failure. What is worse than heart failure?
Oh, Fox says he hates you all. Oh, did you guys hear about the mom who, I guess there's some show on TV now, like a reality TV show about like transgender kids like transitioning or whatever.
Oh, of
And she
course.
was
Oh
talking
my
about her
God. It
daughter,
was very hard to listen to. Go ahead.
who she's like talking about this so like cavalier, and she's like, well, she doesn't, her personal hygiene just hasn't caught up yet, and she has to put the dilator in to keep her vagina open, and she won't put it in there, and I told her if she doesn't do it, I'm gonna do it for her. And the little girl is or boy or whatever is talking about having issues like with his decision, because he's like, I thought I would feel differently, and he doesn't.
They told him he would. They told him
Yeah.
it was this or kill yourself. That's the pitch.
Yeah.
You do this or you kill yourself.
And so now you have grown ass women for virtue signaling purposes of, oh, my kid is trans or whatever, on television talking about dilating her son so his vagina doesn't close up.
Which is a wound where his penis used to be, let's be clear.
Yeah.
That I'm sure he won't regret at 20.
It's just super sad.
It's tragic. These people belong in jail.
Yeah.
Say what you want about America, land of the free, home of the brave. We got some dumbass motherfuckers floating around this country. Dumbass motherfuckers. You know?
You should be taken in the town square.
Now, obviously, that doesn't include this audience. I understand that.
Idiots. What does that mean? That lady is using that child as a fucking accessory, a fucking purse, a pair of fucking shoes that she can put on and off, a fucking chance to be on TV. That bitch needs to be fucking in prison. For real.
Yeah.
That's the kind of kid that's going to shoot somebody in fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
Or themselves. Because they hate
Or their
themselves
mother.
so much.
Well, that kid will never have sex. Could you imagine? You'll never have sex.
They're robbing every orgasm. I mean, it's not just kids. It's everything that we are.
They grow up to be adults with needs like ours. You know
what? I never really sat and thought about that, like about what those ramifications would look like. But
how are you even have endorphin? Like, there's got to be some real bad chemical
like
shit
you
that
go
goes
through
on
college.
if you can never, ever, ever have an orgasm like that. So if we get way down to the basics of biology, I mean,
everything in your body is telling you.
Super cruel, and it feels really like what's the type Stalin shit. Stalin would do that kind of shit. Hitler would do that kind of shit to Jewish people.
I don't know if they
this
even
is
did this in
fucked up.
those.
I'm sorry. I'm going off again because it just really irks me.
No, Joey, if you want to join us, you're welcome to. I can shoot you a DM with the link if you want to come in. Hang on, let me send that to him.
But you know what I'm saying, guys? This is these kids are mentally ill, and we are fucking
and we
the
think
ones
about
that
them.
and these ones made the cut. They actually made the abortion cut, and now we're gonna fucking chemically castrate them. It's hard to make the cut now as it is. And then you got a fucking obstacle. You gotta survive chemical castration and genital mutilization, just so we can have some normal kids that have. Like, how are we going to sustain this country?
How are we going to sustain society in general?
Oh my fuck!
Yeah, like I don't. I feel preachy, like I keep
It's
talking
like
about
the goddamn
this, but like
Olympics trying to get
a-
to 18.
a woman's sole purpose, right? Like, and a man's sole purpose is to fornicate and procreate. Like, that's what our purpose is, to
Not
allow the
anymore. It's to
species
build
to survive.
robots.
I like imagine what you see, like you're robbing all of these children of the opportunity to give
Mhm.
life, bring life into this world, and further our species. Like
You can if you pay for the birthing pod. I'm sure they can take your DNA and create. That's the thing. We think of these kids in the moment as kids, and even these doctors say, "Well, we want to make them feel better in the moment anyway." And we forget that they're going to grow up to be 20 and 25 and want to, experience life and have sex with other humans. Maybe this kid just was going to grow up to be a gay male, and that's what I see a lot of the detransitioning.
The problem is that the moms are all gonna fucking not. Then when that happens, all gonna be like, "Oh, poor pitiful me. Oh, my son, they're so mentally ill now. It never worked. You were so mean to him. It's fucked."
Yeah, it's
Fuck.
your fault that they're
Yeah.
mentally ill now because you were too mean to them. You didn't accept them
Oh,
as
when
they were.
these
And
kids,
I
You
need
won't
another
have
reality
sex with
show.
them, Eric. You won't have sex with my daughter now, who has
Yep.
the fake vagina that I had to dilate when she was 12.
Well, and that's kind of the point. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, go ahead, Joey.
I did not expect you to send me a link like right away. I was like, I had to go like grab my headphones and everything. But that, who was it who just made the point? Was it Eric that said, you know what? Yeah, that's the thing. Is some of these kids might end up to grow up being completely healthy, normal, homosexual adults. Like, and live completely normal lives.
And want to have an
But
orgasm.
look, I've said this a lot, and I get a lot of crap every time I say it. So prepare for the comments section to blow up here. But this transgender stuff, I almost see it as a socially acceptable form of reparative therapy. Because how many of these suburban freaking wine moms are out there like,
Mhm.
oh, my kid's not gay because that's still a little weird. My kid's trans. This is the new, the new thing. Because in their minds, I mean, it's not heterosexuality. It's, I mean, it kind of is with extra steps. But, you in their minds, like, oh, now you're not homosexual. You're heterosexual. You're a girl. But now we made you a boy and you're attracted to other girls. You're, that has to be running through some of these people's minds. I can't prove that. But that's where I see this going.
It's like
And that's where I've seen it going for a long time.
It's like the new pumpkin spice latte. I swear, it's like this is just what's new. And if you don't have this, then you're not even cool.
Oh, a trans kid is the new Fendi bag. I mean, Heather's
fucking ridiculous.
has mentioned that.
Yeah.
And so you talk about, you have a reality show that's totally normalizing this now. I mean, okay, we all remember the Toddlers and Tiaras sort of phenomenon with Honey Boo Boo and everything. And I'm going to venture a guess that, the three of you also, that probably made you really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Seeing the way these parents treated these kids, parading them around on stage in makeup and swimsuits and this, that, and the other thing. I mean,
for a bunch of wrinkled ass and fat moms.
The makeup is really troubling for some reason. Little kids in eyeshadow is so creepy.
When how long after this was or how long was this after Jean-Benet Ramsey even? Like,
And then that Netflix series gets shut down right away because it was way too creepy. And now all of a sudden we're all the way over here.
Yeah. And
Joey, what are your thoughts on the whole child deal? Shouldn't we start with therapy and not start with chemicals?
No, you should absolutely start with therapy. I mean, you need to figure out where these feelings are coming from.
Yeah. What is it? It feels a little social contagion.
I don't think they ask these questions. I think they go right to the medications and the procedures.
In fact, they
ask these questions. They don't ask these questions. I mean, if a young child came to me, I have an 8-year-old great nephew, just as an example. If he came to me and said, "Uncle Joey, I feel like a girl," my next question is going to be, was this kid sexually abused? Like, that's going to be where my mind goes. because why else would an 8-year-old boy who loves football and baseball? I mean, this kid could probably, go hours with you guys on Patriot Sports about football. He loves football so much. Suddenly come out and be like, "Oh, I feel like I'm a girl." There's
Was that
trauma.
from school?
Something's happened.
Social media?
Yeah, or like I said, maybe this kid's being sexually abused.
There could be a lot of that going on.
And that's where my thought goes. You need to get these kids first into therapy and make sure that there is not another issue at play here. And even then, look, I don't think we should legally allow people to transition with cross-sex hormones, surgery, anything like that until they've hit, I would say, minimum the age of 21. I mean,
the frontal lobe has to be developed.
Correct. To understand the gravity and the magnitude of the decision. Because you know what? It's not what the trans activists say. This is not reversible stuff.
I wanted a giant corn tattoo across my back when I was 17 years old. Like, bad.
That makes sense. Because
boy, if I had that now, I would really regret it.
Yeah.
Severely. It would affect my day-to-day. I would think about it. And this is, permanently changing your body. It's insane. The doctors who swore an oath are doing this.
Washington passed a law that if they run away there, they'll take them in, and then the parents can't say anything about it, didn't they?
That's an industry now. Then
Gavin Newsom has also made California into like a transgender sanctuary state. Yeah, sanctuary state. So if states like Florida and Texas, parents can now run away across state lines to the state of California to mutilate their children.
Could you
That's
imagine being
Newsom
a helpless father as the mom does this?
There's people right now that are going through divorces that one of them would do it just to spite the other one. Just because they might have had a niche that they could have thought one time they played with the doll when they were at Toys R Us.
Dude, that's happening. Yeah. There's a wine mom who's like, I'll show you.
Yes, they're 100%. And then I'll be on a reality TV show because we celebrate it. We fucking affirm it. We celebrate it. And then at the end of that, we reward it.
Let's see you take him duck hunting after I turn him into a girl.
Somebody has to be willing to stand up and say no. I've talked to Heather about this pretty much ad nauseum, but the pendulum is going to swing the other direction, and entirely
go too far, brother.
And entirely normal people like me are going to lose everything in society that we've gained thus far because we couldn't stand up and say no to these crazy people coming after other people's kids. Mm-hmm. Look, I don't care if you're transgender. I flat out do not agree with the gender ideology. I'm never going to be mean or anything to anybody who is transgender until you start coming for other people's kids. You start coming for other people's kids. Look, I will be right there with you guys, protesting at the school board meetings, whatever I got to do to keep your kids safe from people like Gavin Newsom, who have power and authority and a supermajority in a state house to let people come over here and mutilate their kids.
It's so scary.
And more people need to stand up and say, no, enough is enough. And it has to be more gays.
Yes.
It has to say, these people do not represent us.
It has to be a bunch of America. It has to just be all of us.
It has to be a lot of the L and the G, though, coming out and saying, this is not okay. We are not part of this group.
Yeah, I think it's funny because coming from us, we're just cisgender white men and women, right? Like we don't know their plight.
No, we're regular Americans, though.
Yeah, but when the Joeys of the world come out and say these things, it has gravity.
But we're bigoted and discriminatory, right? From their position, that's how they'll frame that. We are bigoted and discriminatory. But if you have more gay people saying, "Look, you're ruining just like if we have more women saying, "Look, you're fucking ruining everything that we've worked for. You're destroying it." Who is the top lingerie model right now? A man. Who is Kate Spade's spring dress fucking person? A man. Who is the tampon representatives for more than 3 tampon companies?
That's a
Men.
man.
All of
That's
them
fucking-
are men.
Actually, I should pay attention because I do buy those products for my daughter. I can't buy those.
Hey,
Well, and that was the argument
Let
that I
me-
made the other day.
the
How
problem
hard is
can't
is
it?
be
men
buying
are
those.
superior. So that's how this is gonna go. I'm just kidding.
How hard
And that's
is
what
it?
I'm saying. We're teaching all of our young girls, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, you will always come second to a man.
And you know what? Chris has a point there because it's like patriarchy is back on the menu.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about feminism and patriarchy. Like Heather just said, you have men repping women's hygiene products. If you're a transgender, you are
And in the
never going
military.
to have a period. Bottom line, there is no reason for Dylan Mulvaney to be repping tampons. Zero
Well,
reason
and-
for it.
My
There's
daughter.
no reason our health and fucking safety, or who's the transgender lady in the Biden administration? That does
Rachel
all-
Levine,
Yeah,
Health and
like
Human
that's
Services.
somebody, that's a position you would want your kids to look up to.
Yeah.
Look
Mhm.
at what they're doing.
And it totally, what pisses me off
Dylan
the
Mulvaney is a
most
fucking,
is
it's a shit show.
It
But
com-
there's some real positions of power.
it completely minimizes what a
Yeah.
woman is, what a woman can do and accomplish. Like, you create a human being. That's kind of a big deal. They're trying to strip women of that.
Women
I mean, you guys,
make life, men fight to keep it free.
Birthing
That's
people
what we do.
is infuriating to me.
Changing it. It's
Well,
not
and
gonna work.
Ainsley's getting ready to like. You can tell she's starting to like
I'll be
transition
right back.
into womanhood and all of that. Okay. She's. Was that a door sound?
no, sorry, I'm trying to like. Be able to
Oh, I
actually
thought
put
that was
my
one of
phone
Chris's
down.
little buttons
I
that he
thought it was
pushes.
Chris's chair.
No, that was just me. I don't even know if you guys can see me. My camera's black, so
We can't.
Nope.
okay.
You have full
Um,
anonymity.
But so she's starting to smell like she's starting to stink like BO. And she'll get in the car. She's like, I put deodorant on. And I'm like, bitch, no, you didn't, little girl. Like, I know better. I can smell the onion coming from your armpit right now. And so, and you have Dylan Mulvaney as the native rep, which is like the most popular brand in Target and that all the little girls are using. And like the body chemistry is different. So now my daughter is looking up to a man on his deodorant choices. And then you have Jeffrey Marsh, Dylan Mulvaney, and there's another one that are the rep brands for tampons. So my daughter is like looking to men on commercials for tampons. You know,
That's
like
insanity.
it's crazy. It's
You know,
How is
crazy.
this real life?
Yeah, we need to find where the singularity is that started this. I mean, it it may well be that damn gorilla. I don't know. Could be the gorilla.
Fucking Harambe dying. just ruined
Everything was
everything.
fine.
before they shot the gorilla. But seriously, because this did not happen in a vacuum and it did not happen overnight, allowing
No.
it to go this far.
But it
You know-
happened fast, Joey.
Yes.
It did. I mean, you know, college campuses weren't. I graduated college in 2013, about 10 years ago. They were not as crazy as they were then, even in 2016. Like it just wasn't. I mean, you know, granted, I did go to a Catholic institution. I mean, wasn't a conservative college by any stretch of the imagination, but there was a plurality of voices on campus, and you could say things that weren't within the left-wing orthodoxy and still be totally fine with, you know, no one. I mean, you might get some crap. I got plenty of crap, but
Right.
but it wasn't, you know, this. I mean, I saw Ron Paul speak my freshman year, for God's sake. No one was trying to storm the auditorium to, you know, stop Ron Paul from speaking.
Right.
It just
now, if you
Yeah.
have any sort of position that is in opposition to the narrative, you do not deserve to have a voice. Journalist, citizen, it doesn't matter. If you don't agree with us, if you don't feel the way we feel about things, you do not deserve to speak about it.
and imagine, you know, I just kind of lost my train of thought. I don't know. I had a point and it was gone.
You're fine.
Oh,
Do you guys
bringing
wanna
it back,
Go ahead, I'm
around
sorry,
really
Joe.
quick to your opening story from today. about the mass shooters is
Yeah.
the reason that we're not being allowed to see the Tennessee shooters manifesto is because I promise you it's specifically targeting Christians and it's targeting kids, which absolutely incinerates the narrative that no, the trans community is not coming for your kids. And it's all in there. I almost guarantee it's in there. And that's why we're not being allowed to see it, because it would torch the narrative and, result in a lot of us being like, see,
Yeah.
there
told
it
you
is
so.
right there.
Look what you're doing.
They scrub these social media accounts real quick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
It's the most, and that's the thing, right? Like, we should be able to see, and I will say, I think it was Lexi who made this point to me, or made this point, and I actually see this position. So the point was made that maybe you and I were mutuals on Facebook, and then you went and killed a whole bunch of people. And then it gets turned around on you. Well, I saw that you're following that person. Are you like them? Do you believe the way that they believe, or whatever? Like, I could see where by association you would then be guilty of their crimes, or of being friends with them or something like that. I could see where that would create an issue. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I could see why, but still, you can privatize that, right? Just make it to where nobody can see who that person is following or who's following them. But I should be able to see what they were posting. I should be
Especially
able
if
to
it
see.
was directly related to their motive.
And
Right.
nobody's been able to Wayback Machine any of the social media.
So I immediately, because I was in Louisville and I felt that it was relevant for me to look into, when the Louisville shooting happened, I immediately went to the Wayback Machine for his Instagram stuff. Not one fucking archive.
So they scrub it so hard that even Wayback Machine can't get to it. That's
Correct.
Yeah. That's insane.
Wow.
Yep. Pretty fucking wild. All right. Do you guys want to do 2 truths and a lie?
Let's do it.
We got
Yes,
about
ma'am.
6 minutes left. Okay. To new audience members and old, you guys, the old know the rules. I am going to give 2 articles that are true and 1 article that is a lie, and audience participation is invited and welcome at this point. I keep track of who gets the answers correct. And then in about 2.5 months, a little bit less than that now, we will give a prize. We haven't decided what that prize is yet.
Quarterly.
Do what?
Quarterly.
Quarterly, you will be rewarded if you have the most points. Hold on real quick. I'm going to put this up here. I think a social media scrub happens, so there are not more copycats or martyr status. I think that that's probably a contributing factor as well, but God, man, I just feel like that should be public knowledge.
It was public knowledge 10 minutes before.
Yeah,
Right.
10 minutes before the shooter was identified.
Yeah. Back to 2 truths and a lie. So 2 of the stories are real. 1 of them is false. Don't cheat, because that's not fun. Mom hands. And it's just more fun if you don't cheat. So
Exactly.
let me pull this up real quick. First article. A politician is caught using campaign funds to purchase a luxury yacht. In a shocking scandal that has rocked the political world, a prominent politician has been caught using campaign funds to purchase a luxury yacht. This particular politician, who had been running for re-election in 2024 on a platform of fiscal responsibility and transparency, reportedly used tens of thousands of dollars from his campaign coffers to buy the yacht, which he then docked at a private marina. That is story
Believable.
number 1. Story number 2, inmate was remarkably allowed to stroll out the front door of a Washington state jail after fooling the guards into thinking that he was his cellmate, who was set to be released that day.
Nice.
He made a break after a corrections officer went to his cell to contact the inmate scheduled for release, but found all 3 men asleep. When the officer called out for the inmate, the inmate who escaped was originally dealing drugs, claimed to be the other person, and went with the guard to be processed out of custody.
What's that show on Hulu? Sneaky Pete. He Sneaky Pete'd him.
See, that almost sounds like the plot of the Shawshank Redemption. Just
Suspected drug trafficker is on the run with nearly 60 pounds of methamphetamine belonging to a California Sheriff's Department after an undercover sting went wrong.
They're going to be able to run for a long time with that.
Authorities set up the sting Wednesday in an attempt to identify drug traffickers. Undercover deputies met with the suspect for the drug sale, and the suspect later drove away. Deputies from the gang task force then attempted to pull over the suspect, who refused to yield and sped off. Due to the high speeds and the suspect's disregard for public safety, deputies lost sight of the vehicle. 2 truths.
60 pounds of methamphetamine. That's a lot.
One is a
that's,
lie.
that's a lot of meth.
Which one is real?
I
Number
think
one's a lie.
you're muted. I think number 1.
Number 1's a lie. Sorry.
I'm gonna say number 1's the lie. I'm gonna agree with Chris.
Everyone says number 1. Number 1 is in fact the lie.
I got one. Is that my first one?
That is your first one.
Those are my
This is
first
Chris's
points.
Second. You are currently losing 2-1.
Oh no.
I like it a lot better when I make everyone not know.
I knew number 3 was true because I just saw that on Twitter before you guys started the show.
Heather's
Yeah.
gonna have to start reading that with her logo up because she's got tells. You couldn't play poker.
What?
You have tells. You couldn't play poker.
I play poker very well. Thank you very much.
Well,
Very much.
we'll see next week.
You got the first week wrong.
Because I was like back here going,
Uh-huh.
now I'm
Whatever.
focused,
Getting-
and boom, boom.
He was just getting a read on you at that
Yeah.
point.
It's over now. You always give him one, and then you hit him. Then you hit him smack, smack, smack.
That's all I got for tonight. Do you guys have anything else you want to chime in on?
Eric's
No.
always got a good final thought, probably.
Nope. I'm out of gas.
Hey,
Gotta
Joey, when is Biden going to announce,
Allegedly this week
and how
is
can he win this campaign?
um
I have
He
one
may-
more question after that. Sorry.
okay, you know what? You guys ready for the comment section to go absolutely bonkers?
Yes.
Yes.
The
please.
best thing that could happen to Joe Biden right now is going to be Donald Trump.
I agree. I think he wants to run against Donald
He
Trump.
has
He
to run-
absolutely
that has to
runs.
be his platform.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he has is look at this guy again. He's under indictment. Like that. That's all he's got. The economy is tanked. Inflation's out of control. We got transgender mass shooters. We've got all this crap. And
A new chicken farm or food plot of some kind is going up in flames every night.
What does he run on? He's got nothing. If
How
it's
many
Ron
embassies have we had
What
to
is-
shut down in his presidency? Is this
we're probably
4 or
we're probably about
5?
to have another Benghazi on our hands in Sudan.
Yeah.
Or is it Sudan?
Like-
Yeah.
What is strong right now? What could you even run on?
Fox says you are wrong, Joey.
Again,
You,
Fox likes anime. We can disregard Fox.
Joey's right. The only thing he can run on is I'm not Trump. And if
Yeah.
Trump's not in the race, then he's fucked. Now, I said I had one more question. So if you'll just indulge me one more. How is he going to avoid any kind of debate from today until November 8th, 2024? How can he do that? And how?
That's a really good question. The DNC will
Without
probably
a
just change.
pandemic.
Yeah, the DNC will probably just change the rules again. That would be the best thing they can do. Because I mean, Marianne Williamson's not going to be polling anything. Joe Biden's, assuming that Gavin Newsom does not get into the race, the only even potentially
God.
viable challenge is
RFK.
Robert Kennedy. But
We-
Robert Kennedy is not going to be able to cook up enough support I don't think. But so the DNC will probably just change the rules. Like if you're not polling at a certain percentage, then you don't get to be in a debate. That's probably
Weird.
what they'll do.
What about in the general?
I'd have to think about that. But the Republicans are already pretty
I
much
have a
pulling out of the
theory on that
commission
one.
on.
We
The
are
Republicans are
dangerously
pulling-
close to a Gavin Newsom presidency right now.
No, we're not.
Well,
We're
y'all
like
in
2
Wisconsin
steps
need to
away.
get y'all in Wisconsin need to get your shit together and save
That's
us
a
from a
fact.
Gavin Newsom presidency. So
That's a fact.
I have a theory on the general election debates. Do you remember when everything was so biased and the organizations that were doing it and the RNC was like, well, we're just not going to participate. We're going to just do our own thing or whatever. Do you guys remember that when Trump ran against Biden in the last election?
yeah.
Yep.
I have a feeling the Democrats are going to make it so egregious that the RNC fucks themselves and says, okay, well, we're just not going to participate in that. That's how Joe Biden avoids it, is he makes it to where they won't participate.
Well, the
Kaepernick
RNC has already threatened to pull out of the commission on presidential debates.
Right.
So
So
that's already there.
Makes it really easy for him at this point.
Fox says he's surprised Gavin didn't run last time. Maybe he was told to stand down last
He
time
might have been. He
And
very well
promised-
might have been.
and promised that this run would be his.
How can they fucking fail up so goddamn often in this shit? Seriously, he has ruined one of the most gorgeous states that in the entire United States of America, and he's absolutely shit on it.
It's gross.
Gavin Newsom is very much a Bay Area liberal.
Didn't he just call in the National Guard to San Francisco because of
Wait,
the
tell me
homeless
about
problem?
that. What? I missed this.
The homeless?
Will you
Yeah,
tell
Wait,
me?
with the home.
Hold on, let me pull
I don't know a lot about what's going on up in San Francisco because LA is a war zone that I have to deal with every day. But Gavin Newsom is very much a Bay Area liberal. I mean, if San Francisco is a person, it's Gavin Newsom. I don't know how that plays in perennially blue collar states like Wisconsin, like Pennsylvania, where all he has to do is say the wrong thing about we're totally going to support gender affirming care for minors, and all of a sudden the F-150 cavalry actually shows up and votes.
So
The problem with up here in Wisconsin is the older boomer population is an old Democrat, a Union Democrat, a Labor Democrat. And
right.
they don't keep up enough with the news to understand where the party's actually at. And then you have Madison and Milwaukee, which is like a 1-2 punch of children.
They're completely locked up, Madison.
Yeah, but Madison and Milwaukee are already baked in. What's swinging the state is, getting out of those areas.
Is the older Union generation of they hated the right to work.
It's a lot of Republicans not getting off their ass and voting too.
Well, it is that. It is absolutely that. And you know what? As much Trump is really good for that, getting people off of their. I mean, there are people who will crawl over broken glass to vote for Donald Trump, but Trump has too much baggage to get the other side of everything that he needs. The RNC should have hired Scott Pressler a long time ago to really, run the get out the vote operation.
I'm worried about the down tickets. The down ballots with some of the races that are going to go along, like in Pennsylvania. There's a few people that could drag Trump down.
Well, Jim Justice is supposed to announce for Senate in West Virginia, and if that happens, Joe Manchin's done.
I'll be right back.
Jim Justice will shellac Joe Manchin.
That's a couple.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys about this real quick. So, Governor Newsom called in the National Guard to crack down on fentanyl dealing in San Francisco after touring the decrepit Tenderloin district.
Oh, he actually went and looked at what he's done?
Yeah. So he ordered state police and the National Guard to partner with local law enforcement agencies to tackle the drug problem and disrupt fentanyl trafficking. The move comes after city officials requested state and federal assistance to tackle the issues of open-air drug dealing. The governor announced the plan on Friday, just days after taking a tour of the district, with California Attorney General Rob Bonta and Mayor London Breed's chief of staff, in which the trio assessed the situation for themselves and saw how bad the fentanyl crisis in the city has become.
Yeah, you see those zombified people bent over. The people who are bent over at the waist, passed out with their fingers dragging on the ground, but still standing. I don't understand that position.
I saw a thing that was spice. That was what that was.
I mean, it might have been.
People.
That stuff has made
People are
people do
just-
some.
They're out. They're not participating in life. They're unconscious, and when they're not unconscious, they're just wandering aimlessly, shitting in the street. It's terrible. The population of these zombies is growing all the time. Shit's coming in over the border in truckloads.
It's really disappointing, actually.
It's disheartening stuff.
Yeah.
First
And
thing this
Mark
fucking
is
guy
just
did was
stands up
open
there
up the
like a-
border.
Mark is just fucking sits in the fucking pocket and just is the biggest fucking tool I've ever seen. He's just a fucking pencil neck bitch. And he's just like, and he just filibuster. You've watched him. I don't need to say it. I'm preaching to the choir. It's no integrity at all. None.
Nope.
None.
It's
All
ridiculous.
right,
Well, thanks for pulling me in, Heather.
No,
Thanks for coming, Joey.
That was
hanging
good.
out, Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to actually have me in from the top, we could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. All you gotta do is let me know.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Badass.
we'll do for sure.
It'll happen a
and
lot during the
since
election.
we're on and live, everybody say congratulations to Joey. If you see him on Twitter, he was just baptized last week. It was a very beautiful church, beautiful ceremony.
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Joey. We're
Thank
super
you.
happy for you.
I could even come on and talk about orthodoxy sometime if you guys want. Less spicy topic.
I don't know that I'm prepared for that topic, but I've seen, man, we'll have that talk someday.
Alrighty.
All right. On that note, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the show, please tell your friends, like, share, subscribe, go retweet the video. Let people know how you feel about it so that in the future, we can have more people participating in Two Truths and a Lie. And I know you fucking cheated, Fox. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there real quick. All right. I love you guys. You guys have a good night.